All right, now we should be live on the network. Let me see if I can drag this over to the screen, get out of your guys' way. And love you, but I'm gonna mute you all. I'll try to keep that way they keep the chat down as much as possible on the audio side. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and kick this bad boy off. This is gonna be a fun one. So this is one I've been working on for a while. It's expired, how to win the expired luxury listings, right? It's kind of like that forbidden fruit in a lot of ways, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I kind of want to dive in and really kind of hone in. So before I get things started, guys, I'd love to know in the chat. Let me know, do you have a consistent expired listing strategy? Just put yes or no at this point in time, no big deal. Most agents I coach don't have any kind of like a consistent. And what I mean by consistent is every single time you see some expired listings hit the market, that would fit what you really want, then you have a strategy to go after. You have steps in place to work that. And so most coaching clients I work with do not. And so this is kind of what the basis of this workshop is really on is how to build that strategy and make it make sense for your business, right? I'm not one of those coaches, guys, that stand up and say, you should do it this way. And if everybody does it this way, you'll be successful. That's crazy. Every person I coach has a different way of doing business. And that's cool. And so we have to build that strategy around it. So the strategy I'm going to show you today, guys, is hopefully will at least get your brain going, right? Some thought process of how you can build what it's looking like into your business, that same strategy for expired listings. All right, you guys ready? Let's kind of dive in. So, we got to move my pictures out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Guys, prospecting for expired listing is a time-honored tradition, right? One of the most cost-effective, in my opinion, cost-effective ways to generate new leads. The seller is motivated, right? If not, a little bit discouraged. The home has recently been prepared for showings, which is awesome. And many agents don't take the time to make those calls or connections every single month. They just don't. And gotta mute. Sorry, love you guys, but I'm gonna get the mute going. Try to do that consistently as I do it as people come in. When it comes to these high-end luxury listings, though, guys, there's an even greater opportunity to acquire. Oh, my slide's going. Too many buttons to push here. Sorry. When it comes to high-end luxury listings, there's even greater opportunity to acquire these expireds, in my opinion. Luxury listings are what? You guys know this. Generally likely to what? Expire due to the longer market times, the smaller buyer pools we're dealing with, and sometimes, a lot of times, I'm seeing overpricing. This creates a consistent, guys, flow of opportunities for you. And to step in and make your pitch, that's what it's all about. And with an expired listing marketing plan, the past success, guys, includes really executing consistency. So if you're taking notes, consistency is going to be key to this. Creating a genuine connection with the client. I'm all about relationships. And of course, persistent follow-up. That's the success strategy for most real estate lead gen, right? And the deal is, but with luxury listings, there is, how can I say it, another more important factor. And this is the key to it, your value proposition. I know if you've attended any of my workshops in the past talking about branding or strategy, I mentioned value proposition, and it's key. And so, and really, what is that? Why are you better choice than the other last agent, right? And what are you going to do differently? And one area where you can really show a very clear and compelling measurable difference is what? In your marketing program. Guys, affluent sellers expect the world of their agents. You guys believe that, right? I don't know for those who've worked in this luxury industry for a while, they expect everything from you, from home preparation to imaging to advertising. And the agent that demonstrates what? The most impressive offering usually takes the prize in this game. And showcasing a program that stands out with multimedia, what else is there? Technology, luxury advertising, and the key, guys, is international exposure for a lot of these luxury listings. I've been doing some stats recently. This is just a squirrel moment. For those that know me, in my workshops, I do squirrel moments. Sometimes we find golden nuggets, and sometimes we just kind of go off track and we hopefully come back. But this one is 72 or 74%, I think is what it is, of luxury sellers of the high-end markets, guys. When you list a luxury property, are outside, the buyers are outside of a 25-mile radius. So most agents, we focus on this 25-mile radius, right? That's what's consistent for us. Our branding's 25-mile radius, 50-mile radius, whatever it is. But most of them are outside of that. So even international marketing is impressive to sellers. So, all right, where are we going to start with this? Let's go ahead and dive in with this. So the very first part is we're going to generate a list, right? What do you mean by that, Jeremy? I'm serious about this. We're going to either do this in your CRM, which everybody should have a CRM and use it on a daily basis. I could preach that till whatever, right? So I want you to create a spreadsheet, or in your CRM, create a list, right? A consistent list. Only your expired listing can be part of that, or tag only your expired listings in it. And I want you to spend 5 to 10 minutes adding new expired listings. And this sucks for some of you guys. I hear this out daily. This is a consistent deal, guys, that daily you are going to do this process. It only takes like 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes to do this. I want you to narrow your list by removing properties you think you can't sell quickly. All right. So you're quickly doing the MLS search, right? And you are scanning through the list, and every day it pops new expired to pop up. And I want you to scan through the list, the ones that you think will be like, oh, that's a good one, right? That's a great price point. I could work with that, right? That fits in my goals for the year. And I want you to focus on the listings where the reduction needed seems really realistic, right? I mean, I've seen some where like the reduction needs to be like $100,000 or more. And you're like, okay. And I want you guys to review that list at the beginning of every month, right? So every day you added stuff to this list, at the beginning of each month, I want you to review it and remove properties that's already been listed with another agent. So this is a monthly deal, guys, that's consistent, but I call it my hit list. You know, do you guys have a hit list? You should have a hit list. It sounds like I'm a hitman, but I'm not a hitman. I'm a businessman. I want to make some money. And so I have a hit list of targeting properties I'm going to go after. So everybody should have that. So that's step 1 on this thing, okay? And let me keep going here. I talked about narrow list, review your list to begin with, talked about that. All right, so you got your list. This is the key factor here, the letter. We all should have this letter, right? This key moment that works all the time. And so you've got one shot at grabbing the seller's attention, right? The letter needs to prove your value. That's the key to this letter. Entice the seller to excite them about relisting. And honestly, along with that, clearly expressing how your marketing program can deliver better results. And probably thinking so far, Jeremy, how can one letter do that? It can. Struggle with me here. I want you to include some details that reflect your deep understanding of the local marketing conditions. And last in this letter, we are going to how the previous marketing might have faltered, right? Because you guys can go back and look at the listing, right? You can see there was no 3D tour done. You can see there was no video tour done. You can see the description that was way off, right? You can see the photo qualities. You guys have this story now with these expired listings to come in with a better offer. And that's the key to this. And so let's keep on rolling here a second. This is how to write the best expired letter listing. All right. This is my opinion, how to write the best one. You got to have some points in here to cover. And so I want you to think of this letter as your sales pitch. It's an official intro to the client and your best shot at getting the best first impression, right? I don't know what's the new stat on that. You know, do you know what the new stat of that is? Is anybody know that how many seconds you get for the first impression? At one point in time, I think it was like 14. It's probably way lower now because I mean people make an impression with you before you even 3. There you go. 3, it's probably right. 3 and 8. I mean, it's probably about that, and it might be even down to almost 1 if they looked you up on social media before you even showed up, right? Or if they found out about you, because people make impressions really quick. And so here's the deal. This letter, right, is definitely your sales pitch. However, here's a well-crafted letter will do plenty to get your foot in the door. I don't feel like there's no better way, in my opinion, to get your foot in the door than a nice, cool letter to open. Michelle, I'm gonna read some questions. Don't feel like there is many expired properties right now. Yeah, here's the deal. It's increasing, in my opinion. I just did some reports on this thing, and the expired properties are increasing. And it's because the time on market, it's because the for sale by owners, is all kinds of crazy stuff happening. But in my opinion, if you take right now and focus on these expired listings, just for the next 6 months, you're going to see an increase in it. So it gives you more leads to work on. And so there are a few things this letter has to have in common. You ready? Here's number one. You got to have, wrong one. Got to have functionality, okay? The best letters are sent the day a listing expires. Let me say that again. That's why a system and process is the best if you get this thing right. As soon as that listing gets expired, I want you that next day, you guys send that letter out. It's got to be an automated kind of feel, right? So if you do it daily, you can do this. If you include something extra with your letter, like a small treat or a gift card, hey, that's cool too, right? But guys, you have to get this to them ASAP. Time is of the essence. I love James. He just said 6 out this week. That's awesome. You know, we have to get on this thing because most agents, if they do this program, they do it 30 days after. They'll do it 20 days after. It's too late. You already missed the opportunity, right? All right, the next part you have to have in this letter is a strong call to action. Give the potential client a clear and reasonable next step. This might sound like, let me give you an example. Please call or text me if you're interested. I'd love to grab a coffee and discuss opportunities moving forward. That's a call to action. That gives them something to do. I tell you, inside the call to action, I don't know if I'll mention this later or not, but you can actually add QR codes to the bottom corner of your letters and put in there link to personal message or click here for a personal message, scan here for a personal message. And I have a YouTube video, and sometimes that's the next step, right? You have a video or a Venmo video that's recorded directly to that client. If they scan that thing, dude, it's going to be a game changer for you. And the cool part about videos are it's tracking, right? So now if you sent this letter out and you create a video specifically for that letter, right? Or you create a video CMA for that specific client, it's a game changer because now you saw they actually viewed it. All right, that's interest, right? All right, let me keep going. Okay, next step is this thing called obviously something we're told we've used for years, a free market report, right? Give your potential client some insight into what went wrong with their first listing. This will put them at ease and give them a confidence to try again with you by their side. So the letter is not just a letter alone. It's got some resources with it, right? And then the last part of this letter part is a marketing plan outline. Most agents do not put that in there at all. I love it because as someone that maybe I want to sell my luxury home, I want to know you got a plan before I even talk to you, right? And right before the end of the letter, you want to wrap things up by going over your marketing plan with them, not in detail, but an overview. Tell the seller how, what you will do differently when advertising their listing. This includes plans for social media ads, website updates, local advertising, and obviously, if go back and look at most expired listings, guys, I'm shocked, even luxury expired listings, I'm shocked there's no videos on a lot of those. I think I looked last time in my market, we have about 70% do not have videos on them. I'm like, that's a no-brainer in today's world, right? What do you pay, $200, $300 for a nice video? It's worth it, $400 maybe. You know, it's those little things that make big differences. All right, so let's keep on rolling here. Next part, guys, is we're going to kind of dive into, actually, let me show you this. This is a free thing for you guys. So if you want to take a screenshot of it and view it later, or you want to go ahead and scan it now with your phone, if you're watching on your computer, feel free to do this. This is we call it the perfect expired listing letter for download. This is mainly used as a template, guys. You can go to the LUXVT website, download this. I think this is a Word doc, I think. So edit to make it feel like your words. And so this is a free resource just for you guys. I think it'll help you guys at least get this. Who doesn't love free resources, right? And so hopefully you grab that and use that. If you want to just search LUXVT expired listing letter, you'll find it that way too on Google. But go for it. This is a good example for it. I think it's got a good start for you anyway, to get your expired listing process rolling. Oops, let me go back. Talked about that. Okay. Next step, guys. How in the world are we going to reach these expired listings, right? So for their letter to do its job, you first need to decide how to reach out to the expired listings. So let me kind of walk you through some options for you, okay? So number one is obviously our number one tool, right? The MLS. It's the easiest method for most real estate agents. You most likely have access to us, hopefully. The system lets you search expired listings. I do this on a consistent basis. Then you can use your favorite CRM tool and drop that listing in, and that means you got a hit list now, right? So that's my number one. I even have it where it's set up where you should do it automated. So you can do a save search, right, inside your MLS and have the expired listing to auto send to you on a daily basis. It helps me out. So every morning when I wake up, I know what new expired listings hit the market. So I know, look, I know more emails, Jeremy. No one needs more emails, but in my opinion, it'll make you a huge difference. You guys, anybody have that? Anybody have set up a save search that every day it sends expired listings to you? It's kind of like for me, I wake up and I go, oh, that's awesome, right? Yeah, the MLS doesn't provide the homeowner's address currently. Does it? Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, I know the address when they go off market. Yeah. So the address is in there, and then I use a find a people search online, and I get information from people all the time. But I use the address for them. So yes, you should have that save search set up. Next one, which this is one I get backlash on, right? And it's called cold calls, right? Who still does cold calls? Guys, it's the classic way with leads. Calling sellers with expired listings is often faster and more personal than other methods. I guess I'm not a shy guy, right? So if I call them, I'll be like, hey, this is who it is, and I got an opportunity for you, right? Some people struggle with that. And again, in today's world, guys, most people don't answer the phones if they don't know the number. So this is a hard one. I get it. And so, all right, let's keep going. Email, right? Texting. Yeah. This is my favorite. One of my favorite ways to get in front of them, right? So you can do some people searches. I call them scraping. So or some ways you can actually use companies like Fiverr and some other things to scrape addresses, or you can get a PVA. There's a lot of information nowadays. I use tons of ways to grab people's information about the property owner's phone number. So if you get their phone number, right, then you can really build up this communication with this texting. I've found that texting is 89, 92% response rate now. And honestly, I send video texts, and I'm basically people get a video text, they're like, whoa, that's cool. It's something new that I don't get every day. So if you're willing to jump on video and take the risk, what the risk? Them replying, screw off. I mean, I get those texts all the time. But I'm going to win some listings too, right? And so I think this works, right? All right. Let me go through this. Let me go through two more here, guys, and then I will go back to some questions real quick because I don't want to miss those at the end. I'll probably have a lot, so give me just a second. Emails, obviously. Emails are a communication method most people are comfortable with. You can paste your expired listing letter in there, right, and hit send. Email is also a good medium for connecting with lots of leads at once. I mean, I'm more on the side where I'm dealing with these expireds as one-offs, right? I want to hear what their story is. I want to hear what they're about. I want to personalize it as much as I possibly can because that's going to be a better conversion rate for you. Snail mail, sending a letter by mail is obviously, it's a great way. That's what we're talking about a lot today, is the letter part of it. Snail mail is a great way to catch your seller's attention, especially if you do it the right way. And yeah, so let's keep on going here. Networking, two more. Obviously, networking is great, guys. I'll skip over that one. And local advertising is awesome, building your brand up, right? All right, let me go through a couple questions real quick. I don't want to miss some. I do cold calls. I found a lot. Expired re-sign up with their current code. They really do. And honestly, if you can catch them as soon as it expires, now I'll tell you a little hint, I may mention this later, is you can catch them the day it expires. And you can send them a letter, say, hey, I saw your listing expired. Sometimes, a lot of times, their real estate agent didn't even tell them it expired yet. And so they're like, what the crap? And so you become the hero and say you're willing to help them out because, hey, your agent didn't even tell you it expired. I'm working on that end. Do you guys, that make sense? Do you know bot service? Yeah, I'll tell you what, I will, for those that register for this workshop, I will work on a resource guide for you guys, okay? Something I use to scrape email addresses, scrape phone numbers, that kind of fun stuff, to get this data from people to build up your database. So I'll work on that for you guys over the weekend. How's that? Sound good? All right. I'll send that out to everybody that registered on this workshop. I'll send a little one-page resource guide with links and stuff in it to tell you what I use, right? You just signed up for Espresso. It's all price points. Number DNC. I never heard of that one. I have to look into that one. Let's see. Text message scripts. Yeah, I've actually, Arena, I will work on some text message scripts for you guys too. I've got tons of that stuff. Yeah, LuxVT has an expire listing letter. Just search LuxVT expire listing on Google and you'll find a letter in there. All right, sweet. Yeah, awesome. Got some excitement about the resource guide. So I love to share resources, guys. Great questions. All right, let's keep on moving along, right? Got a lot of stuff to do in this workshop. All right, number 3. So now this is the step 3 of this, right? You got your list, you got your letter, you got your resources ready to go. Your last part is to reinforce your value proposition. I know I mentioned this before, but this is important, right? And so I want you to be sure to include in your mailing packet some visual examples of what you do differently to sell their home, right? This could be a 3-page, 4-pager, guys, right? Complete with the package you send them. You mail them out. Yes. Or you spend a little bit more money to mail this package out, print these docs out. Yes. But man, if you get that 1.2 listing, if you get that 2.4 listing, right? You get excited about that. It's worth the mail piece for me. It's all about ROI, guys. Okay. So this is your value proposition. And the stronger it is, the more likely sellers will see you as the best choice. And these materials can include, give me some examples, brochures of previously sold homes, screenshots of the homes you sold, the social media posts of them, links to past videos of properties you sold. So if you got a kick butt videographer, guys, for your listings and you're kicking out these awesome listing videos, put a link in there to them. That's exciting to people, especially if their past real estate agent didn't do that for them. Examples of advertising and the marketing you provide. You get where I'm going here, guys. It's all about value that we're trying to present in this one package. It's how you're going to land more luxury expired listings. All right, let's switch gears here. So I want to give you guys, if you guys have never looked into this yet, some of you guys are from other groups that I manage, other groups I talk to. If you've not created your free LuxVT account, I just encourage you to do that. We are using, there's a luxury presentation creator in there. You get like 3 a month for a free account, guys. You upload a photo of the expired photo of that listing in there. It will kick you out a complete like 12, 13 page presentation just for you to showcase. I would include that presentation inside this listing letter packet, right? So now they're getting this big packet. Man, they think they're special, especially if you show them this packet with their photo of their current property inside the pages of this document. If you haven't checked out, go to luxvt.com, sign up for a free account, check out the presentation creator. It's a tool I use consistently with all the coaching clients I coach on a daily basis, guys. All right, check that out. Next one. All right, number 4, you ready? Got your stuff together, got your list together, you're ready to rock this thing. Assemble your materials. This step is all about creating visually appealing, upscale set of materials to send to your sellers. And guys, if you had this package set once, this will work for most of your luxury listings, right? It works. And so if one that doesn't have expired yet, do you show in examples? If one that hasn't done expired yet, what do you show in examples? I'll try to work some stuff up for you guys. I may have pictures. I'm not sure if I brought them in here or not. Print your letter on nice stationery paper. Let me give you some tips here, okay? And then it seems like small stuff here, but man, it adds up. So print your letter on nice stationery paper, linen, right? I've owned a printing company for almost 14 years now, and when I see people print on linen, I'm like, yep, that's exciting because it makes people feel good. When they touch it with their fingers, it's like, yeah, it takes it to a new level. So if you're not doing that, you should do that. Have your printing marketing material handy, right? Free of any wrinkles, tears, blemishes. Don't send out something that's got stuff on it, right? I've seen it happen a few times. Include your business card attached. Include a link to your digital business card. If you guys are rocking that world, I mean, that's what I always use, my digital business card. So include your business card attached or a link to it, right? Or a QR code to go to it. Lots of different things you can put in this thing. Let's keep going. Sign your letter personally. I know, seems like a lot of work, but man, it makes a big difference. Sign your letter personally. You're making these personal small steps that will get you this closed listing. Don't put it in a regular envelope, guys. Okay, do not put it in an envelope. I'm going to encourage you guys to pay a little bit extra for the shipping, for the postage on this thing. 9 by 12, 10 by 13. right? And I would actually go the next step of this thing, and I would make it colored. So black, red, make it stand out in their boxes. You get what I'm saying there? Okay. And also you can put a black envelope. You can order these black 10 by 13 or 9 by 12 envelopes, and a white label on it. It looks nice, or handwritten is a little better. Okay. Handwrite your return address on it. I just put your name on it, right? Don't put your company name. That way it's more likely to be opened. That's just small little tips and tricks on it. All right, let's keep on going. Follow up. This is one that I'm gonna say 98% of agents we struggle with this, right? This is the follow-up. So so let's kind of talk through this a minute. And so winning expired listings doesn't come from simply sending out a letter and hoping for the best. Most agents do that. We are not most agents, okay? We are the cream of the crop watching this workshop, guys. We are the top 5%. We're going to go that next step. We're going to hustle a little bit more, okay? Be persistent and reach out through other points of contact within a few days. Let me say it again. Be persistent and reach out through other points of contacts within a few days. If that fails, try another channel, social media, email, anything you got to get a hold of these guys, try it. If you have their phone number, text them. Follow-up video email, follow-up email, follow-up text message, consistently. So the 5-day window, guys, is your key, right? So you sent the letter out, you know they received it a certain date. You're trying to touch base with them at least 3 times in 5 days. That's what you're trying to do. Because one, it shows, heck, this guy's a rock star, or it could say, oh man, this guy won't leave me alone. I'm okay with either one because I want to make an impression. That's what I'm trying to do to win this listing. Because more than likely, if you've got some other good real estate agents in your area, they're doing the same thing you're doing. You're just going to do a little better. And so you don't know what to say. Okay. So if you ever search, there's a guy named Mike Ferry. He's got a pretty cool script out there to reach expired listings. I didn't have it in front of me. I went to pull that. I'll send it to everybody in a link, guys. How's that? The Mike Ferry script that I've kind of tweaked over the years. But that's a good one to search if you ever want to look for a good script on that one. Let me give you some advice, guys. Okay. Whether they're assuming their prior agent failed to sell, right? I'm going to ask you to pull the property off the market, right? And so now we're looking up ways to kind of make this big impression on them in this follow-up steps. So I am amazed of how many sellers don't know, I've mentioned this earlier, don't know their agent dropped the ball and let the listing expire. Do you guys know this happens all the time? It may be a good way to mention to them, hey, did you know your listing's expired? Did you know your current listing's off the market? You know, it's an eye-opening experience to some agents that don't have good communication skills with their clients. And so be that little, hey, pain point. You get what I'm saying? Okay. Okay, let's keep on going. I got enough on that one. So let me give you some tips to get you in the front door. Okay, a fresh approach is the way I say it. So number one, this is one may a struggle for some of you guys. We are going to lead with empathy. Okay, lead with empathy. You know, reaching out to expired listings isn't really a secret. Okay, real estate marketing strategy. It's not one of those like VIP stuff. We just got to do it right. And so the real question is, how do you get those often frustrated sellers to say yes to you taking an expired listing? Here's some, I got 3 tips here. Number one, lead with empathy. Expired listing sellers are often wondering, why doesn't anyone want my home? Right? What's wrong with it? Should I even do this again, or should I just stop doing it? Right? And the fact is, these folks have likely spent some significant time and money trying to get their home to sell, whether it be cleaning it up, moving things, fixing things, whatever it is. Even though they're ready to move on from their home, it can really sting to know that other homes in the area are selling while they're just stuck in the market. And yet, most real estate professionals don't address these feelings sellers might have right off the bat and go straight to the pitch, right? You guys know those people, those agents that they're always selling, they're always without listening. I don't know if you ever had that conversation with somebody. Maybe you guys would make me can say what I'm saying, hear what I'm saying here. Have you ever had the conversation with somebody, you know, they already know what they're going to say before you even mention what you're going to say, right? You're having that conversation when you're like, they are not even listening to me. That's how sellers are. Sometimes it's what when they have conversations with agents, that's what they have. And I would first approach expired listing sellers with an expired listing package. Obviously, inside the package, suggest some educational materials. We talked about that. I want you, though, to address some feelings. Let me say that again. Address some feelings of rejection and let them know an expired listing could be a result of maybe it's poor marketing or targeted the wrong buyers, even the wrong timing, right? So you're appealing to them. In fact, at this point, the agent should not be pitching themselves at all. Rather, they should simply be breaking the ice and helping the seller realize their home does have potential with the right strategy. The right places to put your credentials and track record, right? That's what it's about. Your cover letter. You can also include this in the expired listing package, the whole thing. Remember, though, the goal is to get in the door and start the conversation, not to get a hard yes the day you deliver it. I'll tell you what, I score a moment for you here. Ready? I got one that an agent that does really well at this. He'll get the expired listing notice, right? It expired that day. Hey, you will scrape the phone number and he will actually call them and he'll say, hey, I saw your listing came off the market. Are you still looking to sell your home? I'm always working with buyers. I'm always working with more buyers every single day. Would I be able to come in and just do a quick video of your property and send to my potential buyers? Why does he do that? He does it to get in the door. He wants to have that face-to-face conversation with this person. And hey, hit him with their pain points are, right? So that's just a quick square moment that he does, and it works for him. Number 2, create a clear follow-up plan and stick to it. The key there is the sticking to it part. Dropping off a well-thought-out expired listing package is a great start, guys. But the magic is in the follow-up. In this case, aiming to get in front of the seller in person is the ideal, but it may not happen the first try. It may mean you have to schedule some time to go back out, knock on the door, try to get in front of them. All right. And you're wondering what you might say, right? I know I get those questions a lot. All right, I'm at the door. What do I say to these expired listings? Excuse me. I suggest just showing up, showing enthusiasm, and being, let me highlight this key word, genuinely curious about their home. Okay. That's the 3 keys: enthusiasm, being genuine and curious about their home. If you're doing that, you're going to come off really well. And honestly, why not just simply ask the seller if you can come see the home? Don't be scared to ask to come and see it. And that way you're getting in front of them all the time. All right, next part. Last part here. Don't let your lack of experience in a certain market or price point scare you. I've got some agents. I just had actually an agent come to my office recently, and we sat down and he was like, hey, Jeremy, I see you're doing all these luxury stuff. You know, how do I break into that market? And all sellers, especially ones with expired listings who are anxious to sell, want to know their luxury listing agent has experience selling homes. So I want to give a couple tips on that. Okay, guys, for those that want to get into that. So it makes sense that one of the most common questions, right, is hey, it's your record of selling. And so there's a good way to get around this fear if you've not done a lot of luxury selling. The first way is to lean on your track record with your company you're with, right? Instead of leaning on your personal experience in certain price points and markets, make sure you show up knowing your company's numbers, right? The brokerage you're with numbers. It can help. There's also something you can do in the cover letter. The second way is to co-list. I know you'll give up some of your commissions. I understand. However, this is a good way to get started. You'll get to see how a seasoned luxury professional handles an expired listing from start to finish. Co-listing is one of the easiest ways, in my personal opinion, to personally get a track record under your belt. And it creates a win-win for the agent, right? And you can ask other agents in your company. You could do some research, blah, 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 blah. Think about co-listing if you want to get into this thing. All right, guys, I'm going to take a moment of pause here because we're almost done. And I want to kind of go through some questions I missed. If one hasn't inspired just, what do you show examples? I will show your company examples, your co-listing examples. Talk to your broker about that. I'm sure you can pull some examples from good listings other people have done in your office. You do examples at what you can provide. Good question, Zelda. What about follow-up and initial mailing? I talked a little about that, really trying to hit those 3 touch points in 5 to 7 days. That's the kind of the goal. How long do you follow up with expires? No, I don't. I said 5 days. I'm trying to, obviously I'm trying to get them in the first week, right? Because that's when things hit. I typically go and leave them on my list 30 days. And if it's still not listed with somebody, may you still have an opportunity, I'll leave them on my list. It all depends. They often say, bring me a buyer, then you can see it. How do you respond to the objection? Yeah, honestly, the key to that is, great. If you want me to really bring you a buyer, let me come in the home and let me do my video of the home. And guys, you just take your cell phone out and you walk around their house and you talk about some of the awesome features of their home. It's not that hard. And that's impressive to them. That's how I get in the door. That's how I tell agents to get in the door, guys, is to I say, hey, I'm gonna love to come in and see your property. I just want to shoot a quick video, guys, of your amazing property, so I can send to my potential buyers. How I get buyers, right? I hope that helps. Good question, David. That's kind of what my thought is on it. Will this outline be available? Sure, I'll send the slides out, no problem. What if the comment section of the expired listing says, do not contact the seller due to, I don't come across that very often, Diane, and I'd love to see that example because I'm sure there's a way around it. Do not contact the seller due to the comment section. So more than likely, though, if it's expired, guys, it's free for grabs, right? Don't be scared of that. They're probably putting in there just to honestly to scare you off of it. Probably. It's maybe not. I don't know. It's a good question though. Can we get a recording? Yeah, sure. I'll send the recording out. No problem. Yeah, likely, David. A lot of them don't though. What if you do, or maybe not video? What if you say, I'd love to do my, because you're trying to make yours stand out, right? So if it already has a video, I'd love to shoot a personal video that I send to my clients, because I'm not going to send your video, a video that was already created for them. I'm going to create my own with my own commentary in it. And I explain that to the seller. Hey, I'm going to create my own video, my own commentary, so I can send to my potential buyers I could have my list, because they know me. They have a relationship with me. So that's maybe, Dave, it's a good thought. Yeah. Would you share the recording? Yep, I'll do that. Any different printing company you recommend for the letter? Yeah, I've got a few different ones. I know if you reach out to LUXVT, they've got tons of connections there. Just go to concierge button at the top, go to luxvt.com. Concierge, reach out to Nicole or Morgan there. Be glad to give you some difference. I'll tell you what, I'll include some stuff, some printing stuff maybe I do inside that resource doc over the weekend I send to you guys. So great. Any other questions? Let me make sure. I think I'm in on my slides. I think we get through a lot. Yep. So that pretty much wraps it up, guys. Let me stop my video share. Cool. What are the questions? Haven't used most? Yeah, just jump in, guys. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. We're updating all the time. We got some exciting stuff coming. We got an academy we're launching really soon. I'm kind of spearing that a little bit with my team, and we also have a how do you call it, a coaching program. So we're building several coaching programs. We're building an independent coaching program where I'm coaching agents one-on-one. We're building up a brokerage coaching program and a team coaching program. We're so excited to launch, hopefully by the end of the year, guys, to really rock. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for attending. I love, sharing this kind of data, this kind of information. Right now is the time to get started on your plans. In 2 weeks, so not next Friday, the Friday after that, I'm launching, you're going to host another free workshop on building your business plan for 2023. I know it seems kind of early, but that, in my opinion, is no good early way to start, guys. We got to start September, October to build your business up for next year. We always have to have our pipeline full, right? Because we know the feeling, guys, when we have an empty pipeline, right? And we're desperate on this one listing. So we've got to get that pipeline full, and that's really all about building your business plan. And we build this business plan, build it consistently. So I hope you guys can join me in 2 weeks for that workshop, just like I'm doing today. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for being part of this. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm going to kind of stop the live stream if I can figure out how